Something. We had a chance a few minutes ago. Well, look who just walked into the booth. Wait a minute. Look at this. It's the former Soviet dissident Alexander Solzhenitsyn. You know, Alex, pull up a chair for a few moments if you like. We know you're a big favorite of the Mudhand fans. You come out to the park whenever you can. And, well, I know when the Reds come to town, you like to catch a few games. And certainly that's quite I'm sure, a pleasurable experience for you.
Well, thank you very much, Biff. I tell you, very, very difficult for me to talk about baseball tonight.
Well, I'm sure it does. You know, had a chance to read what's going on in Iceland, and I'll tell you, that kind of stuff is kind of crazy, isn't it? There's a pitch foul back to the screen. Hey, don't forget, fans. Don't forget, fans, for all the youngsters 18 and under, when you come out to the ballpark a week from Friday night, when our honor Soviet dissident night, over 5,000 Alexander Solzhenitsyn bobbing head dolls will be given away at the ballpark. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you later.
Biff Barnes.
One thing in one defense of Biff Barnes, who I think is a great character, he loves what he does. He thinks he's great at what he does. Really, who can knock that, right? There's a guy that enjoys what he does and thinks he's good at it. God love him, right?
We got 2 minutes. I want you to do the old-time ball player.
The two old-time ball players. I really do the old Irish ball player who starts setting up a beautiful story. I mean, it's a gorgeous story, setting it up with all kinds of images the way it was at the turn of the century, and just basically he just shuts down after about 30 seconds.
We came in there about 1909, and old Jacob Rupert, who was the owner of the Yankees, why, he had fists as big as haystacks and a big rosy red cheeks, and he had eyebrows that swept off a table.
You know, all these beautiful images.
And why, he came in there October 13th, 1909, and he said to me and old Jumpin' Joe Dugan, you youngsters are going to have to find another place for yourself on the roster.
Yeah?
I don't remember the rest of the story.
I mean, he's got these beautiful things set up. Huh?
And can we do it in 30 seconds, the old black ball player?
Well, I remember we playing back in 1915 with the old Hershey Bears. But at that time, we were known as the Chocolate Bears. I remember a friend of mine named Pete Cottonfield Parker hit a ball in Philadelphia due west on a Saturday. 3 days later, disappeared over the park. 3 days later, we're playing a game in St. Louis. Before the ball game started, a ball coming from the eastern part of the country was hovering over the ballpark. Our left fielder, Mutton Chop Williams, caught the ball. The umpire said, Haystack, you're out in Philadelphia 3 days ago. That's the truth.
Roy Firestone, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I remember going back to about 1905, we playing with the old Hershey Reds. We didn't get paid nothing in them days. And I remember the fella on my ball club, old Licorice Johnson. Great names. Where do they get these names? He batted 1,150. Now, wait a minute. If a guy got a hit every time at the bat, he'd only bat 1,000. Well, I agree with that. But the umpires thought he hit the ball so well to give him a few extra points.
You're really great, Larry. I'm
Albert,
just thrilled to be here.
Albert, you all right?
No, I'm not. I'm nauseous, okay? Get on with it, Larry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Larry, for a wonderful introduction. That was
Thank you,
very
Lucy.
sweet. And I was nominated. I just found out today. And along with, we had 7 nominations for Not Necessarily the News. Best Comedy Series, Best Special, Best Editing, Best Directing. Stuart Pankin was nominated for Best Actor, and Annie Bloom for Best Actress, and I was for Best Actress.
It's a great show, but is that a push-up bra? Seriously.
Not right now, Albert.
I was originally going to do a series, a comedy series called Nurse Ratched. It was kind of a sitcom based on a spin-off from The Cuckoo's Nest. Wasn't a lot of laughs, but it paid real great.
at the
Hey,
Comedy
Albert,
Store.
you do clubs, don't you? You still like to perform in front of the
I
crowd,
basically hate
exercising your ego. Isn't that what it's all about?
Yes, well, that's basically what it's about, but I hate people on a general basis.
You hate people.
Yes, I do. Well, there's just too many of them, Larry. That's the problem. I'm sorry.
What do you think of Jack Nicholson?
Jack is a great talent, a major talent. He is. That freak he's
I
on.
really need you to tell me that, right? That's what it's all about. Yeah. You stroke my ego, I stroke yours. We're all in
We're going to
this thing
validate
together.
parking. That's the question.
Right, we're both.
You know, I have to say, you both are very, very attractive men.
Well, thank you very much.
Albert
Needless
has
to say.
Albert has a sense of self-assurance that I haven't seen in many men.
Self-assurance?
Yeah,
You just-
I think so, yes.
More
uh-huh.
drinks for Lucy, please. I can't believe that.
I would like to, if I may,
Woody.
interrupt for a second because Lucy is extremely attractive. Are you a Gentile or are you Jewish?
I'm kind of half and half.
And have the best kind. I don't know.
They're both so attractive, Larry. What do you think they think of each other? What do you think Woody thinks of Albert and Albert thinks of Woody?
Oh, yes. Well, you know, you two are rivals. You have a large cult following. Woody Allen is more famous than you. Does that bother you, Albert?
No, it doesn't, because I have that cult following. People dress up in costumes to come see me perform. It's a great thing.
No, I mean, but you have yet to make the films that Mr. Allen has made for recognition.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I think you have a great deal of talent, and I was wondering if it bothers you that Woody Allen is more famous.
Yeah, but what do you mean by that, Larry?
No. I mean nothing wrong
What's
by
your
that.
point? Okay, I'll be honest. I haven't had the big hit yet. I haven't. But I'm not dating my co-stars. Never mind. It's not important. It's not important.
You're on the brink. What do you think of Albert?
I would like to say this. That I listen to Albert Brooks and I enjoy him, but stick to stand-up because I don't mean to be like demeaning or anything like that. But I do important films, films that speak of the human heart and New York and Manhattan and films that Walt Frazier likes to attend, and I think that's really what it's all about.
Great New York films, absolutely. I'm sure a lot of people-
like originally, like for me, the Satyricon, like a film of that, kind of impact me.
Albert, are you on the brink of a great film?
If I could just film in New York, if Woody would let me come in there and film.
Oh, he owns New York.
But the people in Omaha appreciate the Manhattan skyline. Come on, stop it with New York, will you please? Leave the city there.
I'd like to, if I may, say this.
Jimmy.
This is President Jimmy Carter.
And he's been on our show, Larry.
Yes, I have. I'd like to say this, Lucy, if I may. That people ask me what I think of Jews. And I'm very glad that they asked me this question because I have a good answer for that.
What is it, Mr. President?
And that is, every day of my life, Larry, I get up and I run 10 to 15 miles. And I have a large breakfast of eggs, bacon, and some sort of juice. Now, whether or not it's orange juice, or grapefruit juice, or apple juice.
We'll be back with all of
Like
this
that.
crowd and more of Lucy Webb after these messages. Just to respond to President Carter.
I wish you would because you haven't responded much to anything I've said in the
Okay.
last several
Well,
years.
I think it's apparent now why I kicked Jimmy's butt back in 80. Yes, I've seen myself, on not necessarily the news clippings, is that it?
Yes, it is, Mr. President. And we'd like to thank you for being the sixth member of our cast.
I am
You
the
really
star
have-
of that show. I don't know if you've seen it, Larry. I'm out there dealing with wackos like Gaddafi. You know what Gaddafi's problem is?
What
Of
is
course you don't. That's why I'm here. He never went to college, Larry. Well, that means he, of course, never got drunk with his friends and played the board game Risk. If you've ever played Risk, you know that if you have a little country and just a few armies, you don't look across the table to a guy that has a big country and a lot of armies and say, pick up the dice. You just don't do that.
You equate the international problems to a board game?
Absolutely. Hello?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to say on behalf of not necessarily the news, we really apologize at some of the pot shots we've taken at your wife, Nancy.
Boy, it really
It's all
tough
in-
on her.
It's all in fun, and we
Kicking
hope...
her dog. What are you ever doing? She does vicious things, your wife.
It's kind of an in-joke at the White House. Nancy loves the show. She loves it a lot because she gets to see herself doing more than waving. Or buying china, or recently doing her impression of Gerald Ford. We enjoy the show. It's quite funny.
It's the highest form of flattery. We hope that the First Lady realizes that and doesn't take it...
Hello again, everybody. Howard Cosell just walking in. I'll be coming to you live from the battleground of the Middle East, Tripoli. It'll be my pleasure. Live, ABC will be bringing you the end. That's right, the Shiite Muslims and the Druze militia. I'll tell you something. Those Druze, they're a gambling, ragey kind of bunch. That offense can come at you in waves. But when it's over, we'll reflect upon mankind's 5,000 years of civilization and then talk in many ways of the way it was with Michelangelo, the Bronze Age, and Lionel Richie. That's all. Howard Cosell just thought
Thanks, Howard. That's I'm right. The editing on that show, Lucy, is phenomenal.
Thank you.
They must work. I mean, when the president leans down, then another hand comes in. The shots of people watching themselves on television. It boggles me to watch it. I think it is the most creative hour on television. People, HBO people.
The HBO people are wonderful people, Michael.
What is she going to say? Come on, Larry. She's employed there. They're scumbags. I hate them.
No, I'm not. Albert, you don't understand. There are some people who may criticize their employees.
Right, people on the way out. That's the people who complain. I hate this show. I'll never be back. Thank you. Good night.
No, they're very supportive, and Michael Fuchs has been very supportive of the show. And it's kind
Ed
of
Honcho.
Yes, and it's kind of been his baby, and he's stood behind us. Of course, we're waiting to hear about our pickup. Michael, are you awake?
Now's a good time to call them scumbags. You haven't got the pickup yet.
I'm from Tennessee originally.
Yeah, I picked it up a little. Did you hear that little southern brogue in there?
Yeah,
Did you
it's
hear
right
it?
in here.
You hear it, Albert?
You said Jew, didn't you, Larry? Did you hear it? Did you say Jew?
No.
Yes, I heard it. It's very attractive.
You ever worked the South?
Yes, I did. I worked the South, Larry. They were great people. They are. When they get together in groups, it's a little frightening, though. You know? There's always a truck parked out back. Why is that? I don't understand.
Keith, you ever watch Not Necessarily News?
Well, I tell you, no, sir, but I tell you, when I get into the South, I tell you, a whole lot of things can go in. I tell you, we've got those tractor trailers coming in those football games, and we drive them up, and I tell you, we got that shotgun in the back, and I'll tell you, almost anything can happen on a given Saturday night. I'm talking about after the game, okay? Oh, boy, I tell you get those Winchesters and some of those guys, and some Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, and oh, boy, I tell you, when they start with the it's time to look out, I tell you.
What a cast of characters
Yeah,
here.
Peter Falk, do you spend much time in the South?
I'm sorry, Larry. What was the question?
It's amazing to tell the radio audience. Well, how do you do that with your eyes? How do you cross them? You're telling them to cross them. I can't. What do you mean cross them?
Well, think about Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio without you in the room. All right, Larry? Then you cross your eyes with frustration. That's why you cross. No, I'm not sure how to teach you how to cross your eyes. That comes from just having a little too much free time on your hands, I guess. It started with me.
It started actually with his way of avoiding to do the dishes at home.
Oh, no, please, not that.
You two are having a relationship, right?
Now the whole world knows.
Yes, a
You
relationship.
live together?
No, but I visit enough to have to do the dishes.
You can admit it. What are you backing off? None wrong. Do you two live together?
Oh, gee, I'm a good girl, Larry.
No, actually, I spent enough time there to...
Avoid housework.
Avoid housework, right. I spent enough time there until there's dishes piled up, and then, by golly, it's time to get back to my house, yeah.
You regard this as sin, Howard?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Do you ever feel like you're living in sin, you two? I mean, I'm asked this from the old
For
fashioned.
about 2 minutes every night. And the rest of the time, Larry, no, it's no problem.
None at all. Are you two going to get married, Lucy?
Are we going to get married?
What are you saying? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? You're going to go down and get a license, get married?
No, who knows what the future may
What would
bring?
happen if
You know,
one-
I'm waiting for a pickup on a series.
Wait a second. We have Kreskin here. Let's see if he can figure it out. No, but I'm getting a premonition here. There's someone in this room with a wallet. Don't stand up yet. I see credit cards, cash. It's all very hazy, but there's a wallet somewhere in this.
Kevin is a very giving, wonderful person.
What would happen if the two of you, Kevin and Lucy, one of you made it big? Super big.
The other would be panhandling soon, Larry. I can feel it.
What's next, Jack? What's your next film?
I haven't really given it a lot of thought, to tell you the truth, but I'm thinking of doing a whole different kind of feel movie. A musical about the life and times of Menachem Begin.
You would play him?
Yeah. What do you think?
Albert, what's next?
I'll tell you what's next, Larry. I ordered some tuna fish at the waiter.
Are you going to do a film? What is your next?
Yes, I'm doing the film in Washington.
No, I mean of your own creation. That film in Washington.
Yes, I am, Larry. I'm thinking about doing a brilliant film, actually. What choice do I have? I'm going to do a film about the great world of radio. Oddly enough, I should announce that here on the Larry King Show.
A film about radio.
The inside look, the real inside look, the sickness, the phobias.
I'm curious, Larry, is Albert dating anyone right now?
Yes. Are you involved in anyone, Albert?
Now, Lucy, how serious is this thing with you and Kevin? Because you're very attractive. Really, I can't believe it. Maybe it's the lighting.
I'm looking at you and I'm thinking the same thing, and I'm thinking, Kevin who?
Larry, can we leave now?
We've had a breakup.
Kevin's gone. He's history. Never say the word Kevin and Pollock ever again.
We got about 30 seconds. Keith, what do you think it is?
Well, I tell you, when they get together, whoa, boy, I tell you, there's going to be a real barn burner going on there.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Keith.
I called your machine. That's right. You do hear everything correctly. But you put much better since the machine.
Yeah,
what brand of answering machine is it?
That was the early stages. I'd only been doing it for about 2 weeks.
But
Albert,
aren't you
complimented, Albert?
Yes, I am, Larry. I am. It's I did see Ed Weinberger did send me a tape, and it's funny. It made me laugh, and hell, it almost got me laid.
I do a thing in my act when I headline clubs all over the country called the Albert Brooks Show. It's a talk show, and I bring some up from the audience and interview them improvised, and it always works. And I'm educating audiences all over the country as to who Albert Brooks is. I'll always ask how many folks here know who he is, and I tell you, Larry, every club I play anywhere in the country, at least 2% of the audience knows, but the important thing is, at least 30 to 35% of the audience will respond each time. And then, as I explained, beginning years of Saturday Night Live, it was always a film by Albert Brooks, real life, Modern Romance, Lost in America. By then, it's about 65% of the audience will respond.
Well, you know what I would like to do, Kevin? I would like to bring you one day, you and your wife-to-be, bring you over to the corporation and show you the projections we have, because we're pretty excited, and we feel that by 1989, you're going to have 60 to 70% of that audience knowing who he is. We're very excited about that now. As a matter of fact, we just did some tests in the. Have you played Des Moines recently?
No, never.
Oh, wait till you go there. We have an 80% recognition rate. Of course, what I do is I go into the city first and commit a major crime. I get on all the news, and then it helps. No, I think it's great. I mean, I want, I was interested. I was listening to Larry ask the Albert questions, and I thought that's where I thought you really did lovely. You battled him off. He always likes to do that. Woody's bigger.
Stop it,
Albert. If only Woody had another name, so I wouldn't have to keep hearing Woody, I get so mixed up. I think I
would like to hear Kevin talk to you as Albert talking to Albert.
All right. It's like a vocal mirror.
All right.
This is your subconscious, Albert. Listen, the last film we did, Lost in America.
Yeah, did you like it?
We didn't really get to keep the Winnebago after the filming. Why was that?
Well, they have those tax laws. But they're good. They're funny. They're good laws, aren't they?
They're great laws. I have some to report back. Since then, Julie Haggerty has not said either the word nest or egg since the filming. She still can't say it. It's frightening. I'm not sure if you know that or not.
That was contractual, Kevin. She was not allowed to repeat in her real life any of the actual words in the script. And she wrote me a lovely letter the other day. Listen to this. I miss you so much. Could I please say and the?
penso che il sogno così non ritorni mai più. Mi dipingevo la mani e la faccia di blu. Poi d'improvviso venivo da vita rapito. E cominciavo a volare nel cielo infinito. Volare, oh oh, cantare, oh, nel blu, dipinto di blu. Felice di stare lassù e volavo felice più in alto dal sole ed ancora più su, mentre il mondo pian piano spariva lontano laggiù. Una musica dolce suonava soltanto per me. Dipinto di blu, felice di stare qua giù. Get out! Di blu, felice di stare qua giù e continuo a volare felice più in alto del sole ed ancora più su, mentre il mondo pian piano scompare negli occhi tuoi blu. La tua voce è una musica dolce che suona per me.
Austin Alternatives will be back with more from Alex Chilton after these messages.